Welcome back to MetLife Stadium here at East Rutherford, New Jersey for Pope John Junior Lion Lacrosse. Mike Formisano here calling today's action as the Pope John Lions 7th grade squad will get set to take on the Rutherford Bulldogs White. Let's go ahead and go over the roster for the 7th graders as I try and catch my breath. I'm going across the stadium as we go ahead and get started here. We're on the near field, so look at the near field. It'll be Pope John in blue, trimmed by gold and white, against Rutherford. And they're in their white uniforms. They are in the near field here. So the 7th grade team is going to be Michael Morelli in net, number 45, or number 15, I should say, for Pope John. Connor Clifford, number 7. Emilio Barranco, number 33. Johnny Peppa, number 39. Hayden Marshall, number 35. Michael Formisano, number 13. Ronnie Ziegler, number 42. Ryder Gervald, number 25, Victor Fiore, number 4, Zachary Cash, number 7, and Andrew Jessamaria, number 24. And the head coach of the Pope John Lions is Christian Vosa. Here we go. Pope John going left to right, and there's Hayden Marshall. Marshall will go ahead, number 35, give it off to Ziegler. Number 42, Roddy Ziegler, running in, cutting through the defense. The shot high above the crossbar and out of bounds. And so Rutherford will take over. Again, this is 6-on-6 action here. There's only one face-off. It's at the beginning of the game. There's no power plays. Rutherford cutting in. Shot goes wide to the right post and out of bounds, and so Pope John will take over. Number 7, Connor Clifford with possession as we get started here. Here's the pass all the way down the field to Ryder Gervald. It's out of his reach and scooped up by the Rutherford netminder, number 3. Now goes over to Fiore. Victor Fiore with it, number 4. Moving in. He's got a couple of wings. The shot to Marshall. Behind the back, and it goes wide to the left post. So Rutherford will take over. No score between Rutherford and Pope John. We don't have a scoreboard in this one, so we have to keep track ourselves as far as how the game is going. Number 13 for Rutherford will take over. They'll run up the right sideline in towards Morelli. The pass over to 32. The shot. He scores, and Rutherford will take a 1-0 lead. Pass over to Clifford. Connor Clifford, number 7 with it. Runs up the field. The pass over to Fiore, just out of his reach, and all the way towards the other field. So the Bulldogs will take over. This is the white squad, the 7th graders for Rutherford. Rutherford Blue, the 8th graders, will take on Pope John, I believe, in the next game. Intercepted by Fiore. Fiore comes in. Victor Fiore right on top of it, behind the back, and he missed the left post. So, little trickery there by Fiore did not pay off as he missed the left post, and so Rutherford will gain possession. You are looking live, as Brent Musburger used to say. You are looking live at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Many a year I heard him call that for NFL games, not at MetLife, but for the Meadowlands here, as this was built right next door to Giant Stadium, which was torn down around 2010, I believe. 2009, I think, was the last season. So here's Hayden Marshall to pass over to Michael Formisano, just out of his cross, trying to recover it. He does. He scoops it up back, and he passes it over to Cash. Zachary Cash is knocked out of his cross. There's Gervald fighting for it. Ryder Gervald coming in. Gervald with the shot. Saved by the Rutherford goaltender, number 3. And he's able to take possession. Again, these are 25-minute games, maybe close to 28, because there was not much time in between the 8th grade team and the 7th. So here is number 8 for Rutherford out of East Rutherford, New Jersey, or Rutherford, New Jersey. Practically a home game for them. Against Pope John, who was about 35 to 40 miles west in Sparta, New Jersey. Here's Formisano trying to pick it up off the turf. It's bouncing. And so now picked up by number 39. Now 35 has it for Rutherford. And the shot on goal. Saved by Morelli. Great save by Michael Morelli. Ball goes out of bounds, and Rutherford will take over. Here's Cash as he goes ahead and looks to inbound the ball. He gives it over to Johnny Peppa. No long poles here today, too. Peppa usually carries a long pole on defense along with a few other defenders, but they're not allowed in this tournament, only the short sticks. So here's Pippa on the right side. He'll look to pass it off. He gives it over to Michael Formisano up top. Formisano Back to Pippen's intercepted by Rutherford. Formasano trying to knock it loose there. Number 4 with it. He'll do a 360 around Formasano, and again, a ground cashed. Now comes over to number 1. Number 1 on the right side. Andrew Jessamaria defending him. Number 24. Number 1 comes in. The shot on goal, wide of the right post and out of bounds. He tried to go behind the back as well, and Morelli was having none of that. He held the post firm, and the ball goes out of bounds. So, 1-0, Pope John trailing Rutherford here. Here comes Jessamaria. Jessamaria in on net. The shot, he scores! Andrew Jessamaria ties things up 1-1 for the Pope John Lions. So whereas the 8th grade squad won their first game, the 7th graders looking to do the same. They are tied up with Rutherford here, 1 apiece. Ball's loose, and Formasano trying to pick it up off the turf. Sent the other way by Rutherford. Again, we are on the near field here. Formasano scooping it up, knocked out of his cross. He's pushing it forward, almost like a hockey stick. Now there's Emilio Barranco. Barranco picks it up off the turf. There's cashed. Ball still on the ground. Rutherford finally picks it up, and they'll run down the field. Pippa knocks into him. He falls down. No call. We playing on. Here's Jessamaria. Andrew Jessamaria on the 15-yard line, running towards the goal in the middle of the field. He turns around. The shot is loose. Formasano scoops it up. Formasano with the shot. Saved by the Rutherford netminder. He got a right ankle on it. Formasano was targeting the bottom left corner of that net, but the Rutherford goalie stuck out his right ankle and stopped it. So here's Barranco. Barranco on the left side. Pass over to Formasano. Formasano gives it up. Intercepted by number 13 for Rutherford. He loses the ball on the turf, however. Scramble for it. Here's Pippa. Pippa trying to pick it up. Ball still loose. Rutherford fighting for it. Number 4 on there for the Bulldogs, and it's number 13 who comes away with it. Barranco on him is Formasano. The ball's now knocked out of his cross on the turf. Right at the Formasano's cross. He comes in on defense. Still has it as 13's pounding away at him. Intercepted by 46. Ball coming out. A lot of midfield activity as nobody can get any momentum down the field one way or another. Rutherford finally has it, and they charge in on goal. The shot, he scores! Just over the shoulder of Morelli, probably the right shoulder, I should say. And it's 2-1. Rutherford leading over Pope John. Here's Clifford, number 7. Clifford looking to run up the field. Push towards the sideline. Doesn't go out of bounds. Ball's loose on the turf. There's Cash trying to pick it up. Now, here is Pope John. He goes over to Rutherford, however. Number 13. Knocked out of the cross by Andrew Jessamaria. And ball goes out of bounds. I believe it's going to go over to Rutherford. Here's Pippa with it. Johnny Pippa with the shot. Saved by the Rutherford netminder. He's already made 3 big saves in this game. So, great goaltending by the Bulldog keeper. Here's 45 with it for Rutherford. He charges up the field, coming in on goal. Barranco knocks that loose. He gets it back. The shot. He scores. Just past Morelli on the bounce. And so Rutherford leads 3-1. Ball sent down the field, and it's intercepted by number 7. Now over to 8. 8 with the shot. Goes wide to the left. Morelli got a piece of it. So now there's Ronnie Ziegler, number 42 with it. And he will charge it up the field. Ball loose. It comes in on net, and the Rutherford netminder picks it up. It went just past Hayden Marshall, so... Marshall picks it up. Marshall and Fiore coming in 2-0. It goes to Fiore. Fiore with the shot wide of the left post. And so Rutherford will maintain their 3-1 lead, and they will take over possession. Over to number 4. Ball's loose. Hits the turf again. Here's Marshall. Marshall with the shot. Saved by the netminder. Good goalkeeping by the Rutherford keeper, and so it stays 3-1. Here's the shot by 13, out of bounds. It was left of the post. Number 1 coming in, gives it over to number 4. Ball's knocked loose, and there's Gervald. Ryder Gervald trying to scoop it up. He can't do so. He's got defenders all around him. And there's Victor Fiore. Fiore, number 4, up the right sideline. Fiore passes it to Clifford, out of reach, and it goes out of bounds. So Rutherford will take over with a 3-1 lead on the Pope John 7th graders. Mike Formisano here, calling today's action from MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's the MetLife Classic. Ball goes over to forward in Rutherford, and number 1 trying to scoop it up off the turf. He's got Ziegler on him. Now to the right. Ziegler trying to pick it up off the turf, and it goes over to number 25, Ryder Gervald. Here's Gervald racing up the right sideline. He's got a Fiore with him. Fiore takes the pass, the shot, save by the Rutherford goalkeeper. Now here's Ziegler. Ziegler gives it over to Gervald. Gervald turns to his right. Ball still on the turf. Picked up by Rutherford. And Fiore takes it over for Pope John. Fiore passes it back to Ziegler. Ziegler with the shot. Deflected down by number 20 for Rutherford. And it goes out of bounds. And so they're saying Rutherford ball. I guess even though it was deflected, it was on a shot, and Rutherford was closest. So here's a pass over to Marshall. Marshall in front to pass to Gervald. Gervald with the shot. And he scores. Ryder Gervald puts it into the back of the net. 3-2. Rutherford leads over Pope John. Pope John now trying to tie the game. There's Marshall. And that's knocked loose. Here's number 8 for Rutherford. Racing up the field, trying to cut through the defense. The shot on goal. He scores. Number 8 for Rutherford. Puts it to the back of the net. And the Bulldogs lead over Pope John 4-2. Here's Marshall. Marshall leading the charge on the left side. Marshall against 4 defenders. The shot. He scores. Marshall from about 15 yards out buries it into the back of the net. 4-3. Rutherford leads over Pope John. Now the Bulldogs race up the right sideline. Number 8's knocked loose of his cross. There's Gervald. Gervald with Marshall. Gervald on the left side. Trying to cut through the defense. He'll pull back. Comes over to the right side of the field. Now gives it over to Ziegler. Ziegler with the shot. It's deflected down. Rutherford trying to pick it up, and they do. Number 45 with it. Loses it just as quickly, however. There's Cash trying to pick it up. Zachary Cash. Rutherford takes over. This number 37 gets a shove in the back. The shot. He scores. And a penalty on the play against Pope John. There's number 32 with the goal to make it 5-3. Rutherford over Pope John. Here's Marshall's shot. No, that's Pippa. Number 39. Johnny Pippa with the shot and goes over the crossbar and out of bounds. 5-3. Rutherford leads. We're about halfway through this first game for the Pope John 7th graders. There's Ziegler with it. Ball's on the turf. Pippa trying to pick it up. He gets a shove. Cash tries to do the same. Ball still loose. Pass over to Formisano. Knocks out of his cross. He gets shoved to the turf. No whistle. We play on. Formisano taking a heavy hit there. Now Pope John trying to pick it up. There's Cash. Cash in front. The shot. He scores. Zachary Cash bounces it past the Rutherford netminder. And it is 5-4. The Bulldogs leading the Lions. So here's Pope John. Victor Fiore coming up the field with Formisano. Fiore with the shot. He scores! And Pope John is tied at 5. Nope. Oh, they say the goal is good, but a penalty against 7 on Rutherford. So keep the goal on the board, and we are tied at 5. Rutherford brings it down the field. There's number 13, knocked out of his cross by Fiore. It's still loose. Bronco on him. Fiore scoops it up. Here's Victor Fiore down the field. He's got one defender to beat. Ball's knocked out of his stick. Number 45 loses it. Back to Fiore. The shot. He scores! Victor Fiore puts Pope John in the lead, 6-5. So the Lions come roaring back from a deficit. And the ball's loose, and there's Pippa. Johnny Pippa all alone. Pippa coming in. The shot. Wide left. Pippa missed the opportunity coming in all alone on the breakaway. He's got his hands to his head. Can't believe it, but Rutherford will take over. Bad break for Pippa, but sure he'll get another chance later on. Here's Rutherford. It's 6-on-6. And the fields are only about 45, 50 feet. Saved by Morelli off the shot from far away. And he maintains that Pope John lead. 6-5. The Lions up on the Rutherford Bulldogs white. Here's Clifford with the shot. Saved by the netminder, and it goes out of bounds. Clifford's closest, so Pope John will maintain possession. Clifford coming in. The shot on goal. He scores! Connor Clifford gives Pope John a 2-goal lead. 7-5. Goals coming early and often in these half-field games. Jess Maria knocks it out of the cross of the Rutherford forward, number 35. And the lights have just come on here at MetLife Stadium as we head towards sunset. We'll be playing under the lights the rest of the way. Here's Hayden Marshall on the right side. The shot high above the crossbar and out of bounds. Off the back wall, out of the end zone. And so Pope John loses possession over the Rutherford. Comes over to the Bulldogs. 35 has it. 7. It's knocked out of his cross. And number 1, we got a flag in the play. You know, the tough thing about this, you can't hear what the referees are saying, and you only got one referee on the field. So Clifford passes it off, trying to get it over to Marshall. Pippa knocks it loose. Now over to Jessa Maria. And Jessa Maria picks it up. Ball's knocked loose there. It goes over to number 7 for Rutherford. And out of bounds, it'll be Pope John possession. 7-5, Pope John leads over to Rutherford here at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. I can't keep saying that enough. Big stage for the Pope John Lions. Here's Jessa Maria with a shot. And he scores! Andrew Jessa Maria with his second of the game. Pope John leads 8-5. Here comes number 8 up the right sideline. Just bring on him the shot. Saved by Morelli. It may have deflected off the post as well and out of bounds. And so Rutherford will maintain possession. Pope John leading by 3, 8-5. Morelli picks up the ball. It's loose in his crease. And he'll look to play it over to Marshall. Hayden Marshall charging down the middle of the field. Marshall passes to Clifford just out of his reach and out of bounds. Substitutions in. Travald and Clifford and cashed into the game for Pope John. I think the ball's loose underneath the stands, so the Rutherford goalie will race to get a new one and get action started. Rutherford, time is not in their favor. They trail by 3, so ball's knocked loose. Here's Cash in front. The save by the Rutherford goalie. Now Marshall trying to push it forward. Can't do so. And now he tucks it into the top of the net. Hayden Marshall comes right up the left post and tucks it in right beyond the Rutherford goalkeeper. 9-5. Pope John up on Rutherford. Ball's knocked loose, number 13. So Pope John, who was trailing in this game for a while, has gone ahead and taken control. Number 32 for Rutherford. They'll pass it out. Fan on the shot. Pippa picks it up. Ball hits the turf. It's loose. We got a whistle. And it goes over to Gerval. Ryder Gerval takes a slash. He'll keep running. Number 4 for Rutherford. And he's knocked out of bounds, Gerval is, by the Bulldog defenseman. And Rutherford will take over. Here's number 13, racing up the field, goes wide to the left post. There's Morelli. He's closest, so Pope John will maintain possession. It is 9-5. Pope John leads in game number 1 for the 7th grade squad here at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Ball's loose on the turf. There's Gerval trying to pick it up. Ryder Gerval and a Rutherford defenseman on him. And there's Clifford. Clifford knocked out of his cross. It's loose right behind the net. It's in the netting on the back. And the Rutherford goalkeeper is there. Formersano steals that. Knocks it down. Good play by Formersano. Trying to give it over to Marshall. Now it's on the turf. Great defensive play by Formersano. Here's Clifford. Clifford with the shot. Save by the Rutherford goalkeeper. Here's Marshall. Marshall knocks that down. But the goalkeeper gets it back. So, looking to pass it out. He loses it. It falls out of his stick. And he'll pass it off to number 13 for Rutherford. Formersano defends that. There's Marshall. Ball goes over to number 20 for Rutherford. Now it's loose on the turf. Marshall will push it towards the net. Gerval trying to get it before it goes out of bounds. He does. Ryder Gerval in the right corner. Pass over to Fiore. Fiore rips it. He scores! Victor Fiore puts Pope John up 10-5. Pope John with a stranglehold in this game now. Here's the shot by Rutherford. Goes wide of the left post. So the Bulldogs, who had jumped out all over Pope John early, they are now feeling the brunt of the counterattack by Pope John. Here's Morelli. Passes it out to Hayden Marshall. Marshall coming up the field with Ziegler and Gervald. The shot. Saved. No, he said he crossed the goal line. They said it crossed. Hayden Marshall, he got it maybe about 6 inches over the goal line, but that's enough. And Pope John leads 11-5. Formersano gives a shove to number 8. And he is hit for the whistle, an infraction there. So the ball goes over to Pope John. It was actually number 8 who took the penalty. So Formersano passed it downfield to Marshall, but out of bounds, and it will be Rutherford ball. Here's number 8 for the Bulldogs. Too quick as he came out of bounds, and the referee saying, wait for my whistle. Finally coming down the field, Formersano all over number 8. 8 barreling his way through the shot high above the crossbar and out of bounds. Pope John closest to it, and they'll take over possession. The defense of Marshall and Formersano there will what caused that shot to go high. And so Morelli throws it down the field, and it's out of bounds, and Rutherford will take over. 11-5, Pope John leads over the Rutherford Bulldogs White, their 7th grade squad. We are coming to you live from MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey on the first Saturday of May. It's also the Kentucky Derby today. NBA playoffs going on, NHL playoffs going on. In about 3 months from now, NFL will start back up here. The New York Giants and New York Jets. The Giants coming off a playoff appearance and a first-round victory over Minnesota. Here's a save by Morelli. Knocked down by number 37 for Rutherford. Ziegler knocks into him. The ball's loose. Outside the crease, there's number 44 for Rutherford. Pass high over his head, and Fiore will jump all over it. Victor Fiore racing down the sidelines. Fiore coming in with Gervald. The pass to Gervald. Ryder Gervald with the shot. He just goes wide of the left post. Rutherford will take over. So I'm saying the Giants, the first round victory, and the Jets have some optimism with new quarterback Aaron Rodgers coming into the fold from the Green Bay Packers. So football should be exciting here at MetLife Stadium in the fall. But we got a good one here as Rutherford finally hits the scoreboard again. It's 11-6 as number 37 puts that shot past Morelli. Now up to Formersano. Formersano can't handle the pass. It goes over to number 7. He races up the right sideline. Number 7 with the shot. He scores. And so Rutherford trying to make a game of it now late. 11-7, Pope John over the Bulldogs. We are down to the final few minutes of this one, but the Bulldogs have scored twice now to get back into it. Ball goes out of bounds, and the Bulldogs will take over. So 11-7, Pope John leading over Rutherford. We will leave this game as soon as it's over to race back to the other side of the field to cover the 8th grade second game. Ball comes out of the cross of number 7. We are going to have to sacrifice one of the games, and I'll tell you which one in just a second. Here's Ziegler with the shot. He scores! Roddy Ziegler puts it into the back of the net, and it's 12-7 Pope John. Ball's knocked loose. It's on the turf. And the Bulldogs, you got Bronco all over him and Fiore, and we got a whistle. Infraction against Pope John, and so Rutherford will take over. Again, no power plays in this 6-on-6 game. Rutherford takes over, down 12-7. Here comes forward for Rutherford, trying to cut through number 45. And that is Fiore, Victor Fiore. Down the field, over the head of Connor Clifford, and it goes out of bounds. White ball, Rutherford will take over, so Clifford tried to sneak that one in, but nothing doing as the referee overruled him. Here's number 35, racing past Bronco. Coming up the left sideline, knocked loose by Cash. Zachary Cash with good defense, and he picks up the ball off the turf. He's got a couple of wings with him. Cash coming in, the shot wide of the left post. He had Fiore and Emilio Bronco along with Connor Clifford with him, so Cash elected to take the shot. It wasn't really a great one. Goes out of bounds, and Rutherford will take over. Here's Bronco. Ball's knocked loose. Number 45 trying to pick it up, and there's the horn. The pride is spoken. The Pope John Lions defeat the Rutherford Bulldogs. Final score, 12-7. Well, Pope John gets a win in the victory column in the 7th grade, and so they will play again in about a half hour. But meanwhile, the 8th grade team will get set in just a few minutes, and we will bring that to you live. So for everyone here at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, it's Mike Formasano saying thanks for joining us. Final score, the Pope John Lions defeat the Rutherford Bulldogs white, 12-7. See everyone in a few minutes.